A funny thing about narcissists is they pretend not to care and they pretend not to care about you, but actually they do care a lot more than they allow you to think. And I don't mean care about in a sense of them caring about your well-being or anything, but rather they care that you stick around and that you are there for when they need you and what they need you for. Narcissists love carrying this air of indifference with them, where they pretend to be indifferent about you being in their lives. They always, in some way, shape, or form, that they make you believe and kind of always proving the same point, which is that you're dispensable to them. And of course, narcissists sometimes, or most always, at some point they will discard the supply, and the supply is dispensable. But the supply is only dispensable if if the supply is dispensed on the narcissist watch. If you discard them, or if you walk your way when they were not ready for you to leave, you know, when the moment wasn't good for them, then that can have a devastating impact on the narcissist. So narcissists, they're always carrying themselves in such a way as if they could take it or leave it when it comes to you. Um, they might be nice sometimes, they might put you down other times, but they're always trying to make a point, which is that they're more important to you than you are to them. And they so often succeed in convincing the target that they don't care as much about the target as the target cares about them, the narcissist. But the funny thing is, narcissists really do need the target much more than the target needs the narcissist. Because if the target were to suddenly pick up their bags and go at a time when the narcissist wasn't ready to, wasn't ready to part ways yet, maybe the narcissist doesn't have backup supply lined up, or maybe the narcissist, just doesn't have the next steps planned out, such that if the target leaves, it'll kind of ruin things for them. So if the target decides to kind of pick up their bags and walk away when the narcissist isn't ready to part ways yet, that will usually have a devastating impact on the narcissist. And when the target does that to the narcissist, narcissists really struggle to center themselves, to feel a sense of balance. Narcissists need so bad to control, um, when the target, when the relationship with the target ends, when their new relationship or fleeing, whatever you want to call it, starts. They need to control all of that because everything has to be orchestrated in a way where the narcissist is getting the right type of supply at the right moment. And they're always carefully assessing the current situation of supply, the prospects out there, and they're always carefully playing their cards such that they can transition from the current state to whatever they want to go to in a way that just works for them and really suits them. And when that kind of planning falls apart because the target just goes their way, then the narcissists, they lose all sense of balance. They lose all sense of control, and they don't really know how to live with themselves. They struggle immensely. They start scrambling for supply, scrambling for validation from all possible sources that might be able to give it to them, just to kind of try to balance themselves when their supply leaves them unexpectedly. So yeah, that's just an interesting thing about narcissists, and it's quite funny in a way because narcissists, they're always trying to make the target think that they could care less about the target, that they could care less if the target and the narcissist were no longer together, if things broke apart. Obviously, if the narcissist discards the supply, then they're ready to make a move. But when the narcissist is constantly trying to make a point that the supply is irrelevant to them almost, or at least through their actions, they're demonstrating that, and the supply kind of feels that in their gut. It really is a gut wrenching feeling when somebody in many different ways is always kind of showing you and giving you messages that, you don't really matter so much to them. Narcissists do that, and the target, often feels pretty bad because of it. But when push comes to shove, if the target, gets discarded and has to end up making it on their own, the target knows how to achieve a sense of balance. So sometimes the narcissist will be in their mind for some time after the discard, because that's how the narcissist designs the discard. Keeps the person confused, angry, not being able to move on. But if you take the narcissist out of the equation, the supply, the neurotypical target, has a much better ability to balance themselves and just to kind of center themselves, have a sense of grounding, whereas the narcissist can't do that. The narcissist depends on other people to give them that sense of grounding, that sense of balance, and that sense of just stability. So if you're ever, if you've been in an entanglement with a narcissist, or if you are in an entanglement with a narcissist, and you get upset by the fact that the narcissist constantly makes you feel like you don't matter to them, that you're dispensable, just realize that that's all a bunch of nonsense. It really is a lot of BS. If the moment you don't matter anymore to the narcissist, they will discard you and they will move on to the next supply. But as long as they're still there entertaining you and talking to you and trying to make you feel inferior, as long as they're doing that stuff to you in front of your face, well, chances are they still need you, and they need you more than you need them.